Welcome to Squatchin' Holler.
In the mist where the trees lean low, Squatchin' Holler's got a tale to show. Whispers creep like a creature's faint howl. Every shadow's got a secret to growl. Monsters rise where the stories are told. Squatchin' Holler where the legends are born. Are they here? Are they gone? Who can say? In the holler, the truth just slips away. Huge footprints fade where the creek runs thin. A lantern sways, let the search begin. Rustling leaves, but there's no one near. Is it the wind or the beast you fear? Every echo's a question, every rustle's a clue. Squatchin' Holler's got its eyes on you. Monsters rise where the stories are torn. Squatchin' Holler where the legends are born. Are they here? Are they gone? Who can say?
Squatching Holler hosts Roger Williams, Amanda Stowers, and Ashley Range. Remember, this podcast can be downloaded everywhere great podcasts are found. And now the show.
Hello, hello. Uh-oh, we've lost Roger. We were having some technical difficulties backstage.
Can you hear me?
There you are.
Oh no. Carrie,
can you hear me, sir?
I can't hear you.
Oh,
can you hear me?
Okay. I can hear you just fine.
Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. You can hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, y'all. I'm gonna have to do this blind, I guess. My ears.
All right, let us know in the chat, you guys. Can y'all
you
hear Roger?
Amanda, can you go ahead and tell people what we're going to do tonight and maybe show a couple? Let me try to figure this out.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
So, yeah, we're just having some technical difficulties, y'all. So, give me a second. I'm going to text him, let him know that y'all can hear him at least, which is a good thing. Maybe not. I don't know. It depends. So, yeah, we're just going to kind of fly off the cuff tonight. Roger and I were talking. We didn't have a guest really this week, and we wanted to share with you some of the projects and other fun stuff that we've got going on backstage. So I've got several of my YouTube videos and TikToks and stuff like that I wanted to share with you guys. And Roger's got some other fun stuff that he's got going that I'm going to let him bring up and share whenever he gets himself straightened back out. So, since I'm not used to running this thing, and this is the joys of live, we're just going to go ahead and get started. So, as many of you know, Roger asked me to come and join the show here. It's been about a year now. It's been at least a year. So, he interviewed me way back when on the old Squatchin' Holler channel. So, I just thought I'd share with you some of the backstage stuff for that I posted on my TikTok. So let's pull that up real quick. Hey, Internet. So this evening I will be interviewing live with Squatchin' Holler on their YouTube channel. And it should be at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And I'll let you do the math for the rest of the standard time zones. So yeah, if any of my followers is interested and wants to hear me share any crazy stories, that's where you'll catch me at tonight. Thanks. So yeah, that was at least a year and a half ago, if not almost 2 years now, that Roger invited me to come on and interview with him on the old Squatchin Holler channel before we went under the Untold Radio Network umbrella here. So yeah, it's been a fun ride. I'm really glad that y'all have invited me along for the ride, and it's been fun through all of this. So Roger's still having some technical difficulties backstage, so we're just gonna keep playing off some fun silliness here. So what I started when I did my TikTok was I wanted to start sharing silly, fun internet things because I'm a millennial and I live for the internet culture. So I was making all kinds of silly memes and things like that. So here's a couple of them that I made just for some silliness. So let's pull up one or two of these here. Let's start with this one. Here we go. Yeah, that's something that people try to bring up with me all the time. Like, do you really think there's more than one Bigfoot? Like, I just want to just see how many times I can smack my face. Because it just is, it just blows my mind. Greg, man, are you going to see a free bird? Nope, I ain't that talented. Sorry, y'all. All right, let's see what other fun this.
I can hear you now.
I can hear you.
Y'all, I apologize.
Can you hear me?
My stupid computer did an update without letting me know. I don't know how that happened.
He's back.
Oh, I'm back. So for now, anyway. That's
oh, good. Thank you. You saved me. I was kind of winging it there, not in a very good way.
I'm like, how am I going to do this? And I can't hear what's going on. Y'all, thanks for everybody showing up. Did you explain what we're doing tonight?
Yeah, I tried and I started showing some of my my silliness and yeah, we are a bunch of nerds.
Yeah, man, y'all see what happens when they just sell anybody a computer and a microphone. It's
the joys of going live. There is no filter. It happens as it happens.
This is show number 31 on this Untold Radio Network, and this is the first time this has happened. And when I flipped it open and saw that it had updated, I was like, "Oh no, Patrick, I'm fixing to talk about you a little bit." Yeah, we're you know, we want to have guests as much as we can, but every now and then we want to do a little different. So we talked about it and like, you know, a lot of people don't know us from before, and we have social media. I'll bug the heck out of you. Spencer calls me a social media terrorist. So he does. He said, "Man, you're awful." But if you want to go to the TikTok, some people don't use that. We have Facebook, and Amanda got her start on TikTok. Well, yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Yeah, I had a big old X on my screen. I didn't know. You're right, Jeffrey. But so, you know, my side of the story.
Yeah, you share your side of it. I was sharing mine. I don't know if you could hear it or not.
Yeah, I can now. My side, you know, I was doing this and it's a lot to do. It don't seem like it, but when you're responsible for everything, it makes it tough. So I told Heather, I said, I need a co-host. And I had a few people in mind, but then they started co-hosting with other people and Amanda came on the show. Everything went well, and it was in the back of my mind. And I was watching her TikToks and all, and I felt weird asking her because, you know, I didn't want to come off like the creepy old man, right? So, yeah, and I didn't do it. I was thinking about it for a while, but I saw that video where she was about to break down crying. It looked like because your creative.
I pulled up the video because that's the one that started it all.
Yeah,
it was the day that TikTok was supposed to like go away.
Yeah, could you hear that?
I could hear it just fine.
I couldn't. So as long as I can hear you, we can do a show. So,
Perfect.
but
Yeah,
what
and
was
the
funny
audience said they
was,
could hear you just fine.
okay, thank y'all. Appreciate it. Y'all know I'm not good at this, so we're just winging it. So that video, I'm like, I thought about it that day, and I'm gonna reach out to her. So,
And
and
you
she
did. I
said
think it
yes.
was like that same day or the day after. Yeah, you reached out to me and you're
Yeah.
like, "So what'd you feel about it?" And I was like, "You know what? Why not? It's been a lot of fun to have people interview me, and there's a lot of times I'm in the middle of conversations, and I'm like, actually, I want to ask them this instead." So
Yeah.
it's been really fun, and I've met so many people.
Everybody's making fun of me. Welcome in, everybody that's new. Welcome in. We don't edit. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I've been working slowly on a documentary. It's tough to get people lined up to do things like, there. I have people here locally that want to do it, but I have to work around their schedule, and it's kind of tough. But I have a few good interviews, and we couldn't get it loaded because it's too long. So Amanda's going to play it from her computer.
Mhm.
And so the first person you'll see is Kevin Wright. A lot of you guys and gals saw him on the original Squatchin Holler. Had an amazing encounter, and we grew up around each other. Um, and I had no idea about his encounter. And when I started doing this, is when he contacted me, and then his brother was there. So you'll hear that. And there's Kyle and Javier. I'm good friends with Kyle and his family, and they're in North Lincoln County, and they had something happen. Now they're going to talk about a video. I have the video. I might show it, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, you're not going to see much on this screen because I looked at different screens. But when I went to the office where they work and they had these massive computer screens, I could see it. I could see the cloak look. I could see it moving, and you could see how tall it was. And it scared Javier to death. I mean, because they're what we don't say in the video, they're hunting with crossbows, so they have no
I
gun.
forgot about that.
Yeah, and it's very interesting. I put them two together. I didn't put everything in it. I want to save some for um, the documentary if it ever happens. But I wanted to share with y'all, like, hey, we do get out here and do this stuff. Amanda talks to people. I love that her TikTok videos are actually in the museum a lot of times, and then she's been out,
Mhm.
in the woods. So I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, Kevin, let me tell you, Jeffrey, Kevin might be in here. He's a little shy. I got him on the show, and I didn't think it was gonna happen, but he's a great guy. I've known him all his life. He is straight up, honest, doesn't exaggerate. And I think you people that haven't heard his encounter yet, some of the details and how close he was is gonna be very interesting.
Mhm.
I stop it right before he tells how tall it was. He's estimating, I think, 9 or 10 foot. But anyway, so I also have a TikTok where I explain Jeremiah Byron from Bigfoot Society, our buddy. I had
Yep.
mentioned the big monkeys of Giles County, and he challenged me like, "Hey, I want to hear more about the big monkeys." So, old Raj goes and tries to do TikTok for the first time, and it was early morning. You can tell because I was a little sleepy, but
Hey, you got to start somewhere, right?
yeah, and there's another thing also. We'll get into this, but I wanted to explain first. Um, I do have a story that a listener watcher sent in, and we said we would read emails, but this story came in and it was amazing, and it's fiction. I'm gonna right up front tell you it's fiction, but it was so good I went ahead and recorded it. I had a little channel, nobody listened to it. The ones that did said they liked it. So y'all can laugh at me if you want me to. I'm gonna leave it up to the audience. It's 9 minutes. When we get ready to leave, we'll play that, and then let that be the end of the show. And if y'all want to, let me know. If y'all tired of hearing me ramble, you just tell me to get off here and I'll leave. But anyway, so
They should be
I
used to you by now, Roger. I hope so. Anyways.
yeah. Thanks for everybody joining us. Sorry, we're
Yeah,
having a little bit.
people watching live already. That's kind of awesome for
I
just an
know.
off the cuff show like us tonight.
I'm kind of proud of the interviews because of my setting. My son showed me how to use the settings on my iPhone, and I thought it did a good job. So she's going to play it from her computer, and it's not finished. I'm learning how to edit and do all that. So if y'all want to watch that first, I think it's about 13 or 14 minutes.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
about 12, 13 minutes, I think.
All right.
Yeah, if you
So
want, let's go ahead and play that because I think that's
yes.
a good starter.
So we start with Kevin. He's local here, and then we have Kyle and Javier. They're only like 25 minutes from here, and the particular spot is as a crow flies, maybe 12, 15 miles from the Flintville monster incident back in the 70s, and people have seen the white one since then. Also, the second interview, I didn't have my noise canceling mics, and there's a small airport nearby, so you'll hear a little bit of background noise. Sorry about that, but roll that bean footage.
Roll that bean footage. Hang on a second. Let me get it going here.
And I'll get on my phone and listen to it. How about that? That might work.
There you go. That might work. All right, let me see if I can figure out how to do this again.
And she's the techie, y'all. I'm not.
Notice you said techie instead of trekkie.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right, here we go. We got the
joke.
infinity screen going on again. All right, here we go.
Beautiful bean footage. That's right, Minxie.
Beautiful.
And y'all give us the thumbs up if you can hear him when she starts it. I hope y'all can, because this is most of her show. Damn, no sound.
Well, let's try that a different way there, y'all. Sorry about that.
All right,
Again,
y'all.
the joys of technology. Let me.
So what we'll do,
this.
we have another way to do it, but the video quality won't be as good. So
Yeah, give me just a second here. Oh, look, me and you ain't even on screen no more. All right, here we go.
We left there, went up the hill, picked our bikes up, went up the hill. The guy had told us, before I tell the story, I'd had a guy that farmed there close to us. He told us that he'd had some calves missing if we had noticed anything, which we did hear coyotes occasionally and stuff like that. But I hadn't seen nothing really, taking calves or anything, so I had no clue. And we come on up the hill anyways, and there was a barn there that he had the igloos in that he kept the calves in. Had them each individually fenced in with the metal wire mesh in front of them. And when we come up the hill, I heard a calf like hollering, and I assumed it was hung up. I thought something was wrong with the calf. And when I come up the hill, I was saying to my brother, I think one of the calves is hung up or something. We was trying to figure out what was going on. We look over there, and we seen something that was undescribable. I thought it was a bear, but in our area, I know, of course, there were no bears, and chances of it being a bear, it should have been black anyways, and this wasn't black. It was like a brownish red color, and we got on up closer. Whatever this thing was, we didn't realize. I didn't know what it was. It actually looked at us, put its head up, turned around, looked at us. We got on up closer. When it started coming towards the fence, my brother took off. My brother took off running, and I stayed back. And when he come up to the fence, I don't remember, how he looked when he got before he got to the fence. When he come to the fence, he put one leg over the fence, put the other leg over the fence. He never touched the fence. And he come out on the road and he stood there and he looked at me, and I was just standing there. And he made like a hoof noise at me. Like, I don't know if it was like to tell me, to stay away from me or whatever it was, or just warning me. I remember him being huge. Like, my head probably would have come to his belly button. I remember him being just tall, huge, big, muscular. Looked like he worked out. His chest was so just detailed. His arms and stuff, I remember being really big. I remember, his face was like a gray ashy on the face part. I could see, I was so close that I could even see the dimples in his face. Had hair.
Did you?
What happened?
You sent me a thing that said to bring it up, stop and bring us up.
Oh no, that was a message from like 5 minutes ago. Sorry.
Oh, well, never mind. Sorry, I will
All
put
right.
that back on.
All
My
right,
bad.
Roll that bean footage again.
Y'all just ignore me.
No, we're not professionals. So, but we're doing the best we can. Next time we'll get it loaded the other way.
Yeah, your videos were too big, Roger. All right, let's try this again.
Down here and more hair up here. Yeah, his eyebrows his bones in his eyebrows here were real, like, protruded out, like maybe a half an inch, sticking way out there. His eyes looked black to me. All I could see when I looked at his eyes was dark. It was like black. His mouth was real, just real pronounced. I could see his teeth were every bit, the front ones was every bit 3/4 to an inch wide. Each one of them, they were flat all the way across. They were flat like our teeth. Big mouth. And from that moment, from the time I seen him, probably, it seemed like forever, but it actually probably wasn't 15, 20 seconds that I seen this thing. After that, he took off. He went to the other fence. He put one leg across, put the other leg across, went through the field almost in a skiing motion. He didn't look like he was really running. He looked more like he was just kind of on a elliptical or whatever you call them things, going across the field. He got to the edge of the woods. He looked back at me for maybe 5-10 seconds, went into the woods, and that was it. That was the last I seen of him.
So what was he doing when y'all originally saw him? What was
he was trying to get a calf out of that pen. He had actually why the calf was hollering is because he had hold of him. And when we come up there, it's like he stopped. I don't know if he decided not to get him because we were there, and he I don't know how they think or whatever, but he put him down, and then that's when he wanted just to get out of there.
How close do you think you were to the Bigfoot?
When I first seen him, or when he come out on the road?
The closest point.
The closest point, I was probably, I'm going to say 25 to 30 yards. is the closest point I was to him.
And so, judging by the height of the fence,
maybe no, actually maybe a little bit closer than that, maybe 20 to 25. Now, I mean, to really think about it, because 30 yards is a little further. Yeah, he was probably about 20 to 25 yards actually.
So when he huffed at you, was it more like a disappointed that you interrupted lunch kind of sort of thing? Or did you feel threatened?
Yeah, it was scary. I mean, it like come down from deep in him. I mean, it was like he was letting me know, hey, I mean, I'm a man here. I could mess you up, or just just basically stay the hell away from me, or whatever. I don't know. It was scary. I mean, I'll put it that way.
What did the hair look like?
So
it looked like fur.
No, it just looked like a long-haired dog. That's got real soft fur though. Like what do you call the white like kind of like a Great Pyrenees dog. The hair just seemed. It looked like it would have been soft to touch. It was just blowing in the wind, just so pretty. And it was not black like I've seen on TV. This one was a reddish brown color. I mean, just the prettiest. I mean, the hair was just beautiful. And I do remember that. I do remember the detail of his hair blowing in the wind, how pretty it was. How I thought my mind, how soft after. I'm like, man, I bet his hair was soft, to touch.
Well, as a kid, though,
when
these things happen, you think a lot of different things.
Oh, yeah, and that's like I tried to talk to my brother about it after. He didn't want a part of it. He was like, man, just, because I was like, did we just see what, And at the time, I didn't even know what a Bigfoot really was, I'd heard Billy talking about hunting them, with dogs. I'd heard about that, back when I was younger. He told me that some people had spotted one or whatever, and they had took coon dogs and tried to get on a scent and try to hunt this thing. And that was, I'd heard, but that was it.
What was the location of that?
That was in Pulaski.
That would be Giles County?
Giles County, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, judging by your height, the height of the fence, and all that, what would a good guesstimation of height be?
Well, when I was that age, I do remember the fence was about right here on me. And when he
counter, it was on this same place here. Can you tell us what happened?
Yeah. So I was up in the tree stand, and it was probably 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it was dark, and I could hear what sounded like human footsteps coming from behind me. Obviously, it scared me, so I grabbed my phone to see if I could, capture more light from the camera, so I could videotape and at least see what was coming towards me, because it sounded really big. It wasn't, bobcat or raccoon or anything like that. And that's where I captured the video that I then shared with Kyle, because you could see there was something big and it looked like human footsteps, but you can't. It was so dark that you just couldn't see too much on the video that I took. So we've always questioned what it was, because it wasn't a deer or anything like that, which is what we were out here. I mean, it was big footsteps that came and just went, towards that tree over here.
And this tree right here it wasn't falling down yet, right?
This tree was not falling down.
Right.
No. So whatever it was came kind of this way, and you can see where my tree stand is.
Right.
And just, took this path and just continued to go down that way. So yeah, it was an experience for sure.
And y'all know when you use these phones and you start video, and I've told y'all a bunch of times when I've caught things like it was a lot darker than the camera made it look. And so I've seen the video. It's there's something there that looks. I had no idea how tall it might be, because the angle is from the tree stand up here. There, how many feet up is that?
We paced it off about 35 feet from the tree, and that's
how high up?
10, 12 feet?
12, probably 12 to 14 feet. I mean, it's up there, because
So-
you got to see where I was sitting.
Right.
Because it's not the base.
So when I saw the video, I picked out this split in the tree for a point of reference, and this thing walks by, and it had to be at least 10 foot tall.
Yeah, Chat GPT, when it analyzed the video, it saw the figure.
Right.
I hate to use the word ghost because it wasn't a ghost, but
Well, it could
I
have
don't,
been.
I was just saying that being said, I don't know what it was. So,
Right.
It just sounds, I don't know, it sounds weird, but to say it, but.
I didn't use that stand after that.
So that was the last
That
day.
was the last time I used that stand. Yeah,
Okay.
'cause I was scared because it wasn't a normal animal. I could hear it. I mean, it was heavy footsteps, and I thought it was a person.
Right.
And that's why I was trying to video to see who's out here, you know. But
Have you ever had anything like that happen before?
no,
Ghost in the house, any kind of strange thing? You're just so okay. So this has kind of blown you.
yeah, I
on
was
your
freaked
mind.
out. I was sitting up there. I was, to say the least, I was pretty freaked out.
He was texting me.
As soon as after that video, I texted to Con. I'm like, dude, there's something near my stand.
Yeah.
And I sent it to him and told him, you know, replay it frame by frame because you'll see where there was movement.
Now,
what happened to you? Was it how many days later was it in the same?
So it was
woods?
about 2 weeks ago, or 2 weeks after that. And just real quick, when we put his video into Chat GPT, it saw the figure and it estimated for the distance about 13, 14 feet tall.
Yeah.
It
Right.
estimated it.
And when I saw this here and from the angle that he's looking and how high it looks, I told them, I said, oh, it's got to be over 10 foot
So
tall.
that's big.
You know,
Yeah.
so
And it was heavy footsteps. That's why I knew it wasn't.
right.
I
And you
wasn't
could
looking at
hear,
a deer.
and you
Yes.
thought somebody was walking up on you, right? And it was daylight.
Yeah, so about 50, 60 yards
Yeah.
that way. I have a blind that I hunt out of. And I could hear, again, footsteps. And like you said, hunting, you know what a squirrel sounds like, you know what a deer sounds like, you know what. These were unmistakable human footsteps.
Right.
Human, like bipedal something.
Right.
And it wasn't 20 feet in front of me, and it was light out, and there was nothing there. Like, I couldn't see a single thing, but I could track the footsteps as they were happening, and it went left to right for me.
Yeah.
And
You can actually see where your stand is from here.
yeah,
So
By distance.
so
we-
yeah,
we have an
20 feet.
airport nearby, right? So
Yes.
y'all hear the?
Yeah, there's an airport nearby.
I don't have my mics to cut that out, so.
But yeah, I mean, it was 20 feet, and like I said, it was footsteps. I texted one of my buddies to see if he was out here hunting. He said yes, but he was all the way on the other side of the woods, and it's 80 acres.
So
I mean,
now I know I've been knowing you a while. I know your wife, and you know we've talked about some strange things, but I do know that you're more skeptical and whatever. So, what if I'd have told you this story and you'd been on this side of the camera before you saw something like this? I be honest.
yeah.
You probably would have thought, well, I know you're the type to like, well, I believe you, but I don't, you know.
yeah, no, I would believe that you
Saw something.
you saw or heard what you said you saw or heard.
Right.
But in my mind, I'm always thinking, what's the other explanation?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right. So
I'm
that's
the same way.
And I,
Yeah.
I can tell you
Until
from
it
that,
happened to me,
and
there was no other
Do
explanation.
y'all and y'all don't have explanation? So
No.
Kyle calls me and like, I gotta talk to you.
yeah, it was definitely something that had never happened to me. And we've been out here tons of times before that happened, and
All right, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me now?
I can hear you. Okay. Hopefully the audience can.
So y'all with Kevin, Kevin has begged people all his life to give him a lie detector test. He's not scared. There's a few more details, and he saw this thing for a while. And I talked to his brother later, and I kind of ambushed him with it, and he's like, "Man, I don't want to talk about it. People think I'm crazy." I said, "What you don't know is I've seen them too." So anyway, his brother confirmed separately. Didn't even want to talk about it, but what he told me matched up with Kevin's story. So, and then Kyle and Javier both are former military, and I know Kyle is. I'm pretty sure Javier is, and the job they have, I can't say what it is, but they work with high tech equipment and government agencies and stuff. So that's all I'll say. But the thing was, what I noticed when I got there, I didn't tell them, but I was looking at that split in that tree, and I could see when this thing was moving, it's real glitchy and it looks cloaked, y'all. That's the only thing I can say. It looks but it's hard to see because of the light conditions. Now,
Hmm.
I sent it to Doug and he watched it. He put it on his equipment and he said, something's there, but I can't do anything with this. It's too grainy. It's too, the pixels. It's just, it's horrible video, but he did the best he could. Um, and I'm telling you, if you see it on a big screen, you can actually see it. So I was looking at that split in the tree, and this thing was, you know, taller than that. And when I saw how high that was, I didn't know whether it was 5 feet off the ground, 6 feet. When I got there, it was taller than me. The V was so the split. So I'm like, oh no. So there's been reports in that area. We found tracks, maybe 10 miles as a crow flies. That's where Peyton and I found the boneyard. Had several different animals. Nobody reported anything missing, or they didn't have anything missing, but there was hog skulls, there was horse skulls, cows, and anyway. But so hopefully I can get more stories like that. I've got people I know
I hope
here
so
that
too.
have incredible encounters. It's just getting it lined up. So I wanted y'all to see
Hmm.
some of that, and we appreciate y'all hanging in through the technical difficulties. Now,
Yes, thank you all very much.
I will show the 25-second video, but you're not going to see anything on these screens. If you can go back later and watch it on a big screen, and like they said, it's frame by frame, uh, y'all can watch it. But Amanda, you know which one it is?
Yeah, I got it right here. I'll go ahead
Okay,
and pull it
and I'm
up.
gonna tell you it's bad. I'm not, but if some of you have big screens, let us know. But I've seen it on the big screen, slowed down, so I know
Yeah.
something's there, and Doug knows something's there too. So
And I thought that was really cool. He mentioned that he ran it through ChatGPT and the AI was able to detect something there. So
yep.
that was kind of interesting too.
They're they're
So
they're kinda techie nerds, so they've got equipment like you wouldn't believe. I've never seen a computer screen that big in my life, and I've seen gaming stuff, but anyway.
all right, let me go ahead and play it here for everybody. Let's
Alright, this
see.
this is
There
gonna
it
be
is.
bad, y'all, but watch behind that V and see if you can catch it when it goes by. It's tough. It's like I said, on the phone, I've never been able to detect anything on the phone screen. And I had watched the video several times before I went down there, and he said, "Come look on this screen." And that way they went frame by frame, and I'm like, "Oh crap, that is something
Yeah.
there, and it's
Yeah, that's me.
big."
I think you sent it to me and I'm gonna watch it on my big TV in there. But I noticed something just now because I'm sitting here with these headphones on,
Mhm,
and at the very beginning right there, you can actually hear step, step,
mhm.
step,
And
step.
and
This is
and what
coming
you're
through.
looking for is not a solid figure. It's like it glitches, but it's walking, and you can hear those footsteps. So,
Mhm. Yeah,
it
let me play it again. I got some folks in the chat here saying that they saw something or heard something. So let me
yeah.
play it again and see if what they get.
I locked in on it that time. I saw it that time.
Yeah,
Uh,
I did
yeah,
actually myself, yeah, and
yeah.
I'm looking at it on this screen, and it's about that big.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I got goosebumps, y'all, because I haven't seen it that well. Because it's hard to know where to look, but once you catch the movement coming from the right to the left, um, yeah.
And Greg makes a good point here. He says, "Think how hard it would be to record that if you're terrified." And that's a big thing. A lot of people, skeptics especially, don't realize is, "Well, where's the video? Where's the
Well,
what is it?" you know, you're scared in that moment. It takes a lot to hold that. Like I said, he had, you know, basically almost probably, I imagine, had to hold his breath so you're not hearing
Well,
in there because
if
you're scared or anything.
if you think about it, what he said, y'all that they're listening, he said he thought it was a person at first, right?
Oh,
And
okay.
he was because it
I
was
missed that.
walking on 2 feet, and or maybe he told me later, I don't know. But he got it out to see, because you know your phones, when you have that dark mode, it'll lighten it up a little bit. So you can imagine how dark that really was.
Hmm.
And now that by itself is pretty amazing. But Kyle, if you heard what he said, he's sitting in a ground blind. Something walked past him 20 feet away in the broad daylight, and he could follow the footsteps. He could hear the footsteps, and he couldn't see it. And this was about 2 weeks after this happened. So,
Mm-mm.
um, yeah, so I don't know, what it is. They don't know what it is. Whatever it is, it's big and you can't see it. And the fact,
Yeah.
and Kyle, I trust Kyle 100%. I've known him now for probably 10 years. And he is one of the biggest skeptics in the world about everything. I don't care what you tell him, he's going to dig into it and educate himself. So we've had a lot of discussions about this, and but not a lot before. And but they did know to call us to come down there to kind of, scope out the area. So I appreciate them calling. But anyway, um so we heard Kevin allude to his uncle Billy. I knew Billy. He's passed away. He passed away
Hmm.
several years ago. I heard those same stories as a kid, that they lived in Pulaski, Giles County, and some people saw Bigfoots, big monkeys, or whatever, and they finally got tired of it. I don't remember what caused it, but they had a posse get together and they were going hunting them. And Don Odom, our game warden buddy, was game warden at that time, and he only lived 2/10 of a mile from Billy. And they had to go talk them down, because they said they didn't want, a lot of guys out there running around the woods with guns and somebody accidentally get hurt. But I don't know if it got some livestock or whatever and they caught it, but uh, they were going to hunt it down. And I think they kept their eye out. But anyway, so this video that I put on TikTok because of Jeremiah Byron and his challenge, I'm talking about the big monkeys and how I interviewed accidentally was at a family function, and some of the older people had heard about this, and they were telling me stories all day long, and absolutely incredible stories. And y'all, I wished I'd have filmed it, because
That would have
everybody
been something.
everybody that was there, the older people, have passed away since then. So it's just me and two other guys that was there that heard the story. So so I try to give an accurate depiction as I can in this. I don't tell the whole story, but I don't know how long is it.
It's almost 4 minutes. It's 3:43.
Okay, Mark. Yeah, the Amish. He asked me. He says, "Roger, have you heard of the Amish in Lawrenceburg, over in Etheridge?" The first time I pulled up at the Walmart over there, and I saw a hitching post at the Walmart, I'm like, "What? What's going on?" And there was a place to put hay, and then I saw a buggy pull up, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's cool."
You're like,
But
oh, well, that explains that.
but anyway, y'all, this explains the big monkey. This is the county next to me. So if you're looking dead south, Lincoln County is to my left, and Giles County is to the right, and they all meet, and Marshall County meets together. So a lot of times when we're riding around and we're hunting, doing this, we'll be in one county and cross into another. So, all right, Amanda, I'll shut up and let you.
Oh, you're
But,
fine.
and this is on
Gotta find it
TikTok.
again.
And this is
Yeah.
on TikTok. So follow us on TikTok. I'm Squatchin Holler on TikTok. She's Amanda, the Bigfoot lady. Should be easy.
All right. And here we go.
All right. So Jeremiah Byron wanted to know more about the big monkeys of Giles County, Tennessee. I heard some stories. I talked to a whole family that had dealt with these things since the 40s, as far back as they could remember. A lot of older folks were telling me these stories in confidence. They lived in the Tarpley Shop Road area, in Giles County. That's the southern end. They had to change the way they lived to deal with these things, which they didn't know what to call them because the term Bigfoot wasn't around yet. You know, that came later in the late 50s. So they told stories from, you know, getting bluff charged and ran out of the woods while they were hunting. One of the uncles got inebriated with his buddy, was telling them about him. He didn't believe him. So he said, I'll shine my car lights up here on the hill and blow the horn, and it irritates them and they'll come out and scream. Well, they'd had a little too much to drink that night, and the uncle, once he got a reaction, one came out and screamed and was throwing a fit. The gentleman in the passenger seat was, you know, he was wanting to leave, so he told him to stop. And so the uncle kept blowing the horn, flashing the lights, and another Bigfoot or big monkey came from another direction and jumped up on the hood, jumped up and down on the hood, got on the roof, and there's an oak tree behind the barn that was near them. They couldn't see the base of it, but it was taller than the barn, and something was running into it and hitting it and jarring the leaves. And they could feel it. They said the sound, and they didn't know how many there were. They were very scared, and they never did that again. Then one of the younger ones in the crowd asked me not to say his name, but they had asked him if he had seen one. He said no, just adamantly no. Well, he pulled me to the side. He said, Roger, before you leave, I got to talk to you. I'm like, okay, here we go. So he said he was hunting in a sagebrush field, bow hunting, and he had backed up in some cedars in the woods line, just standing on the ground, camouflage on. He thought that would be a good place. And he saw some movement out in the field, and it was something very black, looked like a bull on four legs walking. But he noticed that the walk was wrong, and then he realized what it was. And this thing was coming to him and was going to enter the woods where he was. They came face to face. This thing stood up. Its eyes got big. The gentleman's eyes got big, didn't know what to do. He said it looked like it had a little bit of red tint smeared on, and he doesn't know what that is. Gave a great description. And after a second or two of realization that they'd both been caught, the big monkey turned to the right, dropped on all fours, and he said exploded away. The power was amazing. So that's a little bit of the stories of big monkeys. You can go to our channel, check us out, search that, and you'll find us. And we can't say certain things because certain things are not allowed here. So thank y'all for watching, and go search our name for the real stories by real people. I have no clue what I said, but I know what's funny is when I pointed to my logo, Amanda and I has figured out, which a lot of people have, if you put YouTube or Spotify or mention another company's name, TikTok won't let anybody see it.
Mm-hmm.
So
all about the algorithm overlords.
Yeah. So y'all hear me talk about the Circle Ridge system, and these three counties that we've discussed tonight, including mine, is on the bottom edge. So we're getting a lot of reports out of there. Amanda, if you want to show some of yours, I think I kind of jumped in front of you a little bit.
Thank y'all. Fine, actually.
Thank y'all for being here.
Really good. And
this is really really different. And Pine Knot, I was kind of laughing. I saw your quote. You were talking about your car meet with your buggies. That's cool.
Yeah, I was reading through the chat as the videos was playing, which is funny. Or where there it is. TCT says I'm sure I don't want to see one, talking about Bigfoot, says, but I definitely don't want to see a dog man. So let me play this real quick.
Okay. You have to tell me. Do sign language.
Yep, there it is. It's only 12 seconds.
Okay. That's
That was one of my TikToks I made like way back when.
that's scary. Oh, I went. What's funny is I don't remember when I joined, but yeah, last night because we've been looking at videos to put here and on.
Hmm.
I went through from the beginning and up, and it's funny to watch the progression. It's hard to watch some of my earlier ones, but
It is, yeah. I was noticing that too. I could tell when I was very new at this, or I was
yeah,
stuttering, and
yeah.
but I was just like, you know what? From the very beginning, I've just been like, you know what? This is me. I'm just 100% myself. Just throw it out there, and it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. And
Well, some of your videos have blown up. You've got several 100,000 views, right?
yeah, this one here particularly, this is the one that blew up. Um, I've got almost a 500,000 views on it on TikTok. I don't know what I did, what algorithm thing I did to make it go, but yeah, I pulled it up on here if I can find it. There it is. Here we go.
Say the weird thing. People are desperately seeking realness.
Sasquatch has a language. This guy is Scott Nelson. He is a forensic linguist with the United States military, now retired. He listened to what is referred to as the Sierra sounds that was recorded by this guy, Ron Moorhead, and this guy, Alan Berry, in the 1970s in the Sierra Mountains of Nevada. When Scott Nelson listened to it, he immediately recognized it as a language. He said there are separate individuals talking in that sound, and there are phonetics going throughout it. They refer to it as samurai chatter because it reminded him of an ancient Japanese language that is now extinct. So I find that very interesting. So yeah,
So
on social media, you'll have all these little trends that'll pop up now and then where like everybody's doing one thing. And it was that one where that lady was saying, say the weird thing. I was like, well, if we're talking about Bigfoot, what's the weird thing that most people don't know? I was like, people don't know that Bigfoot has its own language. So I just threw that out there and ran with it. I did that all in one take.
I
And
saw
it
the
blew.
yeah, I saw the numbers. I'm like, oh my god! And then I looked later, and it went crazy. Um, the funny that you showed that. I've talked to Mr. Nelson. That was who in the first picture, right?
Mhm. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Well, it was backwards because it's on my phone, but yeah, that's him. That's Mr.
So
Scott
so
Nelson.
so we're gonna have him on. He's agreed to come on. We haven't set a date yet. Hopefully, it'll be this month. I may try to get him and David Ellis on at the same time.
That would be super cool. We have time to show another one that in going with that? It's a little bit longer. It's about 4.5 minutes, but
Yeah,
it
that's
was one of the better comment responses to that video.
okay. Yeah.
So I it there it is. So I'm just gonna stitch this comment here just as a way of using this to reply to a lot of the other comments. So this comment says, I need to see his Sasquatch speaking resume, referring to Scott Nelson, whom I mentioned in the other video. So I'm going to read to you something that I found that kind of puts it into a lot better words than what I could ever hope to put into words. So 1 second while I flip the camera around. So this is taken directly from Ron Moorhead's site. It is a copy of a letter from someone who was asking to vet Mr. Nelson, and this is a response by this gentleman here for that particular college. So I'm going to try to read it here. All right, so now that the phone's propped, let's read this together. So, R. Scott Nelson, cryptolinguist, Saturday, August 16th, 2014. Mr. Nelson is retired from the U.S. Navy as a cryptolinguist with over 30 years' experience in foreign language and linguistics, including the collection, transcription, analysis, and reporting of voice communications. He is a two-time graduate of the U.S. Navy Cryptological Voice Transcription School in Russian and Spanish, and has logged thousands of hours of voice transcription in his target languages as well as in Persian. He is currently speaking Russian, Spanish, Persian, he is currently teaching Russian, Spanish, Persian, philosophy, and comparative religions at Wentworth College in Missouri. And I'll let you just read all that. Dear Mr. Inquirer, speaking in general, especially with regard to what the subject may have learned while a study at DLI-FLC, which is the abbreviation of this long school name, odds are strongly in favor of him having learned more than enough about language origins, structure, formation, and development to be well qualified to complete the research and documentation to which you refer. As near as I can tell from your statements, the subject has not translated the recordings. Not sure what recordings they're referring to. I'm assuming that they're talking about the Sierra sounds. He has simply analyzed them and amplified. I can't talk. This is the reason why I am not a linguist. He has simply analyzed them and applied phonetic structure to the sounds on the recordings. This is well within the skill levels expected of any graduate of DLI-FLC. If the subject's skills have been further enhanced by years of study and professional experience, I would expect an even more scholarly capability to listen, transcribe, analyze, document, organize, and explain, phonetically at least, any, quote, unknown language. In fact, the entrance exam that qualifies or not a person for enrollment at DLI-FLC requires the examinee to learn a new language on the spot while taking the examination, correctly answering questions presented in the, quote, new language, which is not a known extant human language, thus exhibiting the examinee's aptitude for linguistic studies. Hence, I have no difficulty at all stating that if the subject is in fact a two-time graduate of DIL, he should be utterly qualified to do what you say he has done, and more besides. At the end of the day, this type of research and analysis are fundamental to a career crypto-linguist profession. Regards, Ed. And that's this guy, Ed. So, I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty qualified to me. I think that's a pretty good resume. Thanks. Somebody in the comments to that one said, that girl was bringing receipts. I'm like, yes, I was.
Well, y'all, we have a treat for you. I see what she's loaded. We're not going to get out of here without showing that 13-second clip of the BF poop.
Oh, yes, I saved that one, or had to upload that one. That's one of my first TikToks.
And y'all that don't know, Amanda works at the Expedition Bigfoot Museum in North Georgia, and David Bacara does a fine job. And I heard the story on this. I think somebody described what they saw, so David said he could make it, right? Make some.
A little of both. Yeah, it's so the story behind it is researcher Dr. Matt Johnson out of the PNW has been having long what's the words I'm looking for? Anyway, he's had a long-standing relationship with this particular family or tribe of Bigfoot, and they share the property and everything. So he knew this particular Sasquatch just by the footprints, and he was following the footprints on the ground, and in amongst those footprints was this very nice, very fresh specimen of scat that ended up measuring over 3 feet long.
For y'all that's like dumb like me, that's doo-doo.
Yeah. I'm trying to use my science words there,
I
Roger.
know, right? Yeah, we Patrick Noble's in the chat, so we have to, I'm kidding, Patrick. Love you, Patrick.
So anyway, so yes, there is a display for that at the Bigfoot Museum that I work at, Expedition Bigfoot, the Sasquatch Museum in North Georgia. And I was scrolling through, there's different apps that you can get on your phone of different templates that you can use to make different videos. And I came across this one, and for if you're a nerd like me, you recognize it's from Zoolander. And I saw that, and I was like, what would that fit? And I was like, oh, the poop. That one's perfect. I gotta go make a video real quick. And so this is what I made. Here
Look
we
how
go.
big this is.
There it is. Magnum. Holy moly. Yeah, baby. That's what I've been waiting for. Dear God. It's beautiful.
So you know what that tells me? That he didn't stop. That's wild. And y'all David got a good description and everything and made it.
Yeah, he's got a little thing in the box there with it that you can read about it. And he's got it there because it's part of the DNA lab exhibits that they have at the museum, where they talks about a lot of the science that is pulled behind it, hair samples, DNA, blood samples, fecal matter. So again, it is a bit of a tongue-in-cheek thing, but at the same time, if that was a person that did that, they need to go see a doctor.
Well, Greg Miller says somebody's been eating good. I was thinking, dang, that's like half a deer. Yeah, Patrick said that's a whole deer. Hillary's speechless. She'll come up with something here in a minute, but
I'd say, yeah, give her a second. Something will come up here in a minute, and she'll have us rolling.
Yeah, Kevin Bowe, obviously no Taco Bell. The reason we know because it wasn't shot on 5 or 6 trees behind him, right? So
yeah,
sorry, y'all, we're going off the rails, but this is a fun show. We try to give you information, and a lot of y'all know all this, but there's people that don't, and I can imagine the person that come on and we're looking at this big, whatever. But
oh no, trust me, people have mentioned that all the time when they're first timers coming into the museum. They're like, "Oh no, I've seen pictures of it on the internet. That's what the boys came to see," talking about their kids and laughing.
And I want to say something before we continue. So we show pictures and stuff like that in videos, and we have guests on that have videos. I get a lot of pictures and stuff, and I welcome all that. But this is nobody y'all know, so don't think I'm talking about you. I got a picture sent to me a couple months ago. And this person had the story. They were in a car, and this thing ran across the road in front of them going up the hill, and they snapped a picture, and it looked really good. I mean, so the first thing I do is I go over it. Then I send it to the Woodwalkers group, Greg, Misty, and Spencer. Then I send it to our private chat group in Messenger and say, hey, have any of y'all seen this before? So they kind of look familiar. And, no. Well, Patrick said, what? Because he watches every video out there. He said, wait a minute. I've seen that before. He looked, I think it was a couple of weeks later. He sent me the video. Somebody had screenshot it off of a video and then lied to me. So you have to be careful.
It happens. Yeah. There's people that unfortunately have come into the museum there, and they're talking and they're sharing. It's like, I want to show you this picture that my buddy sent me, and he's got it on his trail cam or something like that. And they're super convinced, that unfortunately that that it's from there, and I have to break their hearts because I'm just like, I'm sorry, that's been around the internet for 10, 15 years now, or something like that. And
the thing is, though, Amanda, it wasn't that person's fault. They trusted whoever sent it to them, right?
Exactly. And so now that makes me feel bad that, like, sorry, I hate to tell you this, but your buddy's not being very nice to you. He's either trying to pull your leg or he's trying to do the opposite.
Amanda, you're mean. Why you do people like that? But no, if you're serious about the spreading real information, then you have to do stuff like that. I've had to do it, and
Exactly.
I've had it done to me early on. I'm like, hey, what do y'all think about this? And they're like, oh, we. So there was a video that popped up when I first started doing this, and on the internet and all, and it was everybody's seen it. When I first saw it, I was like, my God, it's where the small chimp or monkey is up on the telephone pole looking thing, and he's got a bird, and he's killing this thing,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's got his feet wrapped around it. And I'm like, I've never seen this, but I went to everybody. I'm like, hey, what can y'all tell me about this? And they're like, oh, it was debunked. It's probably 15 years old or whatever.
Mhm.
And, but yeah, be careful out there. Y'all know how it is with AI. I use AI. I use AI for, like if I wanted to make something like a thumbnail or whatever and all that, but I'm never going to use it to try to deceive anybody. Is I mean, it's not really that good, but anyway, but there are people out there that are older, younger, that can't see too well, and it looks real to them. And I hate to have to tell them, oh yeah, Jeffrey Arrington, people poaching other stuff. Don't get that started. I've been having conversations
Oh, ain't that the truth?
privately. Yeah, yeah, I won't get into that. And then they want to, when they get caught, they want to whine like they're the victim. But anyway, there's not a lot of that, but it does happen.
Mhm.
But I expect if I put a picture out on the internet, for me personally, it's out there for everybody, right? If the video of the orb, if I see it pop up somewhere, hey, I put it out there for people to study. Now,
Mhm.
if I do a documentary and I spend all this time and sweat and all this doing it, and I see somebody use it without giving, credit, then yeah, I could see where that would upset me a little bit. But I've had a few things used by people, and they've always put Squatchin Holler on there, so it's it's no big deal. But anyway, you have any more you want to show?
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple.
Yeah, how y'all want
Well, we just roll them because. Well, let me
just
bring this up. This is one of my I have two more that are actually like teaching. Well, actually, no, one, two.
yeah.
I'm just gonna roll.
Hey, we might have people that's for the first time watching a Bigfoot show. So yeah, absolutely.
You never know. Exactly. All right. So
Yep.
yeah, here's talking about research and analytics stuff. So let's play
Okay.
this one. Good evening, Internet. So let's play a game. I found that during my afternoon hike the other day. So let's discover if it is Bigfoot, bear, or a rock. So first I discovered it is really small. There's my size 8.5 women's shoe beside it. Here it is again from a different angle. And again from a different angle. And that's something you always do when you're trying to look at tracks of any kind, is look at it from different angles and take your pictures from different angles, because the shadows fill in different spots of it. So here it is again after I pulled some of the pine needles that had fell on top of it, and I was trying to look really more detailed at what would be the toe structure part of it. And then I looked at it again from what would look like the toe area to the heel area, and again I'm just like, footprint shaped, it's got the kind of toe marks. There's so many black bear in our area, but what made me really, really question it was how sharp the edge was on this side over here. So, have y'all guessed what it is? It was just a rock that somebody had pulled out of the trail here. I looked at it, I just really thought, there's so many loose rock that are on this particular trail, and sure enough, not even 2 foot from that spot, there was this rock right here laid off to the side of the trail. And so I played with it, and sure enough, it fit exactly into that spot. Here it is again from another angle, same as before. And last angle again. So it wasn't Bigfoot, it wasn't a bear. Turns out it was just a rock this time. So not every print you see out there is Bigfoot. Remember to keep that in mind, but also always keep an open mind. See ya.
So
I know. I saw that day. I was like, oh my goodness, if I actually found my first like good print, and I was kept looking at it, kept looking. I was like, you know what, this deserves some pictures. And then the more I kept looking at it, I was like, this ain't right. And then it
that,
turned out I was like, you know what, actually, this is a good teaching moment. So
that's
I
that's
threw that video
always
together.
yeah. That's it's always good to go through that. And you know, just on this show and the people we've met, I was thinking when you were showing that hole and the size of it, and you know, Patrick Noble and Shelley Reed found those, and there was a 14-inch track that they casted. We all know that story.
Hmm.
Then I found the same tracks 3 years later in the same spot by accident, and then I think the oh crap moment for me of all time of doing shows was when Michael Caine. Y'all seen him? Y'all that don't know him, he was on Monster Quest a couple weeks ago. Very good guy, good friend of all of us, and he pulled the first night he pulled out that 24-inch track.
Yes, that big monster
Yeah,
cast he pulled
eh,
out. Holy
I couldn't,
smokes!
I couldn't see him. I'm like, Kane, I can't even see you, dude. He was sitting down, but yeah, that's just amazing to me. But I love it. I love it. We have a place to share, and you know, y'all, the new people, go back and watch. Kane Michael is the way we have it listed. Very informative. He shows thermal footage a lot more than the Monster Quest did. They did, you know, they don't have a lot of time, but he is one of the better researchers that I know. Uh, Kane is legit. So disappeared. I saw him on something the other day on social media. He posted something. They might have
Yeah,
snatched him up.
he's still on Facebook. I saw him posting the other day.
Do you have
Let's see here.
you have one
Let's.
more, and then we'll.
Oh man, to choose.
I know,
Okay,
right?
I got one more, or at least
Okay.
I got. Okay, we got two more.
Okay.
So I was kept making little posts out there about like Bigfoot gifting sites like this one. But then this audio you'll hear in just a second came across it as a trend on TikTok. I was like, oh, I've got to use this one and make it Bigfoot. And so once you hear the audio, you'll automatically know what I'm talking about. So let's play it real quick.
I want you to produce me some cabbage, carrots, and corn. I want you to produce me some green beans. I want you to produce me some lettuce. I want you to produce me some produce.
So I heard that and I was like, oh my goodness, if there was we call Bigfoot here in Appalachia boogers. So it's like if an Appalachian booger had a mind speak voice, I wonder if he would sound like somebody's pawpaw. So I was like, I bet you if he was filling up his gifting station, he's like, no, I want some real food there.
Well, when I saw the raccoon, of course, I can't hear what's going on when you play any of the videos.
Oh,
When I
that's right.
saw the raccoon, I'm thinking if anybody want to know what I look like at 9 years old on Sunday when Mama was frying chicken, that was me.
Are you talking about that looks like me every day?
Oh, heck yeah. So we're going to have a vote, y'all. We got about a 9-minute video. It just shows pictures. I'm talking. I'm reading a story that was sent to me. It is a good story. Type in 1 if you want to see it, 2 if you want us to leave. Because yeah, then I'm gonna play it anyway.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
yeah.
But here,
I think you should share the story of how you ended up doing that, or I'll brag on you. Somebody in the comments section either a couple of times had said, Roger, they really like your voice. You know your southern accent, and you're talking. You're like maybe you should go be one of those people to share Bigfoot stories. So this was one of your attempts at doing that. So
well,
you should be proud of that, even if it didn't do that well on YouTube. It's still you did the thing.
well, the way I had to figure out how to do it on the computer, and I was going to continue, and I think I had like 5 tries, and then they're like, "Oh, you need to pay us like an ungodly amount of money," and I'm like, "Oh no." So if I figure out a way to do it, I did put a few things. If you look up at Roger Holler on YouTube, it's a little channel. It's about 150 subscribers. I put music on it. It's for fun stuff, right? So I read this story and it's kind of long, and I'm like, I almost teared up. And you can hear me when I'm reading it. I got a little bit emotional because it's such a great story. And the reason I did it, even though it's fiction, there's a lot of things in it that might be true.
Mm-hmm.
So if the person's watching, and I had another one to do, but I don't have the capabilities right now. But yeah, so you should have seen Peyton's girlfriend's family from Pennsylvania when they met me the other day.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, they were. I'm like, yeah, you'll get tired of it. I trust me. But
Yeah,
anyway,
my poor coworker yesterday or 2 days ago, we actually had somebody, I think they were from Pennsylvania. They asked her, just like, "Hey, can you say that thing about Bigfoot again? You got the perfect accent for it." I'm like, "I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry."
so here's what we're gonna do. We'll play that, and then as soon as it's over, we'll hit the outro and scoot out of here because we'll be close to an hour and a half or whatever. And yeah, I
Yeah.
apologize for the beginning, but it's a learning experience. So now we know what we have to do because
Exactly.
we saw
I
we've
gotta be
seen.
more prepared
No,
because
it's
I
not
was
your
just
fault.
rolling off the cuff. I'm like,
It's not your
panic.
fault.
No, it's
Uh,
okay.
I contacted Alex. I can't talk. And Alex Highcheck, and he was going to load it for me. And I'm like, no, wait a minute. We might can share it. So from now on, if I have a file that large, we'll have it loaded in here so you won't have any issues. So
Yep.
anyway, y'all that want to stay and listen, a little tidbit. The very first picture that you'll see in this slideshow that I did with the reading, if any of you ever watched The Green Mile, you remember the White House where the two little girls lived at the beginning that, something bad happened to them. They filmed that there. They put a false front porch on the back of it and filmed it in the back, and it's deteriorated drastically since then. Nobody lives there, but
Mhm.
that's just Hank. I almost said Hank Williams. Uh, Tom
Wrong,
Hanks.
Hank.
Tom Hanks and all those guys were there filming, and it was a big deal in Marshall County. So yeah, hodgepodge of fun stuff. I put that on there because it was Bigfoot related, and you'll see when this comes up. I was like, I didn't have a name, so I said Bigfoot Underground Network, and then I noticed
It's
somebody
a
else
good
had
name.
Well, I saw somebody else had Bigfoot Underground, and I'm like,
Uh,
I don't know about that. So I mean, I didn't change it. But anyway, thank y'all for uh, coming in and sticking with us, and I hope you enjoy this story. I really do. Um, I don't like to do fiction, but this one kind of touched my heart a little bit. So I'm glad I can't hear it. I won't be over here crying. So yeah, Stacy Brown. You're right, Hillary. I wasn't going to say who it was, but yeah, I saw that. I'm like, nah, I can't. That's too close to his. But
Mhm.
roll it, Amanda.
All right, y'all have a good night. Enjoy this. Enjoy the story.
Hey, y'all. This is Roger once again, episode 2, Bigfoot Underground Network. If you want to hear real stories by real people, interviews with experts and people who've had encounters, head on over to Squatchin Holler on YouTube and Spotify and other platforms to listen to that. This is entertainment purposes only. And I have decided, along with the emails, sometimes I get stories sent in that are fiction, but they're pretty good. So I've got a story to read to y'all tonight, sent in by a listener who wishes to be anonymous, and I will honor that because I want another story because this is pretty cool. But anyway, the name of this story is The Secret of Hollow Creek. Here we go. There's a stretch of backwoods down in southern Tennessee where the fog hangs low and the night carries a hum of secrets. Folks around there call it Hollow Creek, though most drive past it without as much as a glance. But there was one boy who wandered deep than most, and what he found he never forgot. For 40 long years, Lee Harlan kept that secret buried deep, just like the friend he made out there in those woods that day. Back in the summer of 1978, Lee was 12, barefoot, curious, and wild as a rabbit. He was the kind of kid who'd chase frogs instead of dreams and wander off just to see what was over the next hill. The night he'd gone down to Hollow Creek with an old flashlight and a jar for lightning bugs, his daddy used to warn him when he would go, "Don't be running around them woods after dark, boy. The holler's got eyes." Lee figured Daddy was just talking nonsense till the night the woods blinked back. His flashlight flickered out, and in the pale moonlight he saw something moving across the creek. Big, heavy, silent. 8 feet tall at least, shoulders like a bull covered in wet, dark auburn hair. The creature stepped out where the moon touched the water. Its eyes weren't red or mean, they were tired, sad, almost human. Lee froze. The air was thick as syrup, and time just seemed to stop. Then the creature made a low, soft sound, like a hum that vibrated in his chest, deep and calm. Lee swallowed hard. "You ain't no bear, are you?" The thing just tilted its head, curious, and for that one quiet moment, boy and beast understood each other without a word. From that night on, Lee went back to the creek whenever he could. He'd leave biscuits, apples, or a piece of cornbread wrapped in a napkin. And he started finding gifts left in return. Smooth river stones, bundles of feathers, and once an old deer antler polished and cleaned. He began to call the creature Boone, after Daniel Boone, a woodsman like no other. Boone always kept his distance, hiding in the trees, but little by little he came closer. Sometimes they'd sit side by side by the water, saying nothing, just listening to the frogs sing and the crickets hum. Lee learned Boone's sounds, his clicks, hums, soft grunts that almost sounded like a language. They didn't need words. It was a friendship, pure and true, the kind that don't need explaining. Not everything in those dark woods was kind. It was late one fall when the quiet of Hollow Creek was broken by gunfire. Lee, now a teenager, ran toward the ridge and froze when he saw eyes, dozens of them, glowing red and low to the ground. These weren't Bigfoot or Bigfoots. They were dogmen, long, lean, and wrong. Black fur slick in the moonlight, teeth bared, moving like shadows on 2 legs. Then came a roar so powerful it shook the trees. Boone burst from the darkness, charging straight at the pack. The dogmen surrounded him, snarling, but Boone didn't back down. He fought with a fury that only comes from love. Protecting the valley, protecting Lee, protecting the folks who didn't even know he existed. When it was over, the woods were quiet again. Boone was bleeding, but alive. Lee realized right then that his friend wasn't hiding from the world. He was protecting it. Years rolled by. Lee grew into a man, but he never left the valley. He bought a little farmhouse not far from the creek, and every week he'd walk down that same path with an old lantern and a bag of food. Boone would still be there, watching from the trees, older now, slower, but still keeping guard. By the 1990s, the dogman had returned, bolder than before. Lee started loading his rifle with silver bullets, melted down from an old pocket cross and a few coins. He'd sit by the window, polishing the rounds, whispering a prayer over each one. The Lord is my shepherd, and I'll not let wolves rule his woods. He learned how to fight them with faith, with fire, and with silver. But Boone still took the hardest fights for himself, the unspoken guardian of Hollow Creek. It was a stormy October evening when Lee felt something tug at his heart. He couldn't explain it. He just knew he had to go. The rain came down in sheets as he reached the creek. There by the old sycamore, Boone was on his knees, breathing slow, eyes cloudy with age. Lee dropped to his side. Easy, old friend, easy now. Boone lifted a trembling hand, placed it on Lee's shoulder. For a long moment, the two just sat there, the boy and his guardian, side by side. Then Boone let out a final breath, deep and peaceful like the woods themselves were singing him home. Lee sat in the mud till sunrise, rainwater mixing with tears. When the storm passed, Lee dug a grave beneath the old sycamore tree. He wrapped Boone in a wool blanket, laid him down gentle, and filled the earth back in. No cross, no marker. Just a single smooth river stone. The first gift Boone had ever given him. Lee figured the world didn't need to know where its protector lay. Some heroes are meant to rest in silence. These days, Lee's an old man, hair gone gray, voice low and gravelly. Folks still whisper about strange sounds in the woods, big tracks in the mud, howls that don't sound quite right. They say something out there keeps the dogmen away, keeps the holler safe. Lee just smiles when they talk like that, sips his coffee, looks toward the trees, and says nothing. But every now and then, when the moon's hanging low and the creek's running high, he'll take a biscuit and sit down by that old sycamore, just in case his friend's spirit still walks the ridges, watching, protecting, and guarding Hollow Creek one more night. Some stories don't need proof, some friends don't need names, and some legends, they ain't found in books or towns. They are buried deep in the heart of the southern woods. Wow. Great job. Get me a little teary-eyed there. But thanks for sending that in. We will read emails. I may have guests every now and then if I can figure that out. But I'm doing this just for fun. Just give me something to do and maybe, entertain y'all for a few minutes out of the day. And we appreciate you listening. And join us on Squatchin' Holler. We do Thursday nights at 7 Central. And we have great guests. We had M.K. Davis on last week. Very great conversation. And thank y'all for listening. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Where the water runs black, where the moss hangs low and the night leans back. The stories whisper about a shadow tall, big feet moving where the moonlight falls. Some say it be, some say it ghost in the trees. Some say trouble blowing in with the breeze. But around here, man, we know the call, or we just call them friends of Squatchin' Holler. So light that fire, let the cattail shake, hear the night birds cry and the copperheads wait. If you hear a howl in the Georgia fall, that ain't no wind and it ain't no dawn. When the creek runs cold and the shadows get taller, yeah, you cross a line in the Squatchin' Holler, where the legends walk and the brave men falter. Better mind your step in that Squatchin' Holler. Tell me stories about a thing he saw. Stood 10 foot high with a timber jaw. Red eyes burning like a summer cold. A left track's big enough to swallow your soul. But the old folks laugh, say don't you fear. Critters been living here for hundreds of years. Treat them with respect when the moon gets smaller, and they'll let you live in Squatchin' Holler. So light that fire, let the swamp drum roll. You can hear that beat right down in your soul. If you hear a grunt from the river call, it ain't no bullfrog barking at all. When the swamp runs still and the crickets get softer, you're not alone in that Squatchin' Holler, where the brave think twice and the fools won't fall. The Lord keep watching. ridge, some say he walks from bridge to bridge. But one thing's sure, when the night comes down, something big still calls this ground. So bank that fire, let the night get deep, let the willows whisper while the kudzu creeps. If you catch a glimpse through the midnight holler, just nod your head, don't scream and holler, 'cause a wild